Okay, well, we're going to get back to the room with the black backdrop, the decent lighting, and the better quality production values. But I wanted to, I wanted to kick this video out um, in a timely fashion. Um, First up, and I do have a list of talking points here to try to keep me on track. Um, the show of support following my last video has been overwhelming. Um, and good overwhelming. Um, I posted, I made a cryptic post on my Facebook earlier in the day, and a lot of, um, well, not to put too fine a point on it, I made the video, and I wasn't really, I wasn't anticipating, I wasn't, I was anticipating some well wishing. Um, but I mean, the point was more to try to say, hey, people, there's some really cool stuff coming down, and oh man, I've got some really cool ideas. I'll get back to that. But the point was, hey, there's some really cool stuff coming. And so I posted it and thought nothing of it. And I was just doing my weekly website inventory, and cruised by statistics for book sales, and took a look at my PayPal account, and I cried. And a lot of people, some people saw that on my Facebook and expressed concern, like, "Oh my goodness, I had no idea it was that bad." It's like, no, it's just the amount of support that came from all of you in a relatively short amount of time was overwhelming and incredibly validating. I am at this point, I am doing the writing talking thing. I'm trying to make that what I do. I mean, what I do, period. Not this is what I do, but this is how I pay the bills. Not I do this, but I'm work on the railroad or something like that. Is how I cover, how I put bread on the table. Um, and anytime, and I'm sure all of you have had, well, some of you are, some of you may be young enough that you haven't had one of these experiences yet, but you will, I hope you will, where you find yourself wondering if what you are doing with your life is just crazy. If it is just, if it's just stupid, and if you shouldn't, just hang it up, and as the song says, get a haircut, get a real job, that kind of thing. And what I got last night, looking over my website, looking over my stats, was a resounding no. And a very well-timed no. A resounding no, you are not crazy. No, this is not stupid. And thank you. Thank you for that. So, moving right along, before I get into the you like me, you really like me kind of moment. If you haven't recently, pop over to my channel page. There is new information on there. One of the things that is on there, and James, by the way, thank you for kind of bringing this to my attention. That if people want to buy my book, it would help if they knew where to go to actually do so. And you can find it on Amazon. But if you're going to buy it, I would just as soon have you. I would just as soon have you getting it from an outlet that is not taking the frankly frankly kind of savage cut that Amazon takes out of book sales. So on my channel page, there is a link which will lead you to where you can purchase my book. That page is also where, well, for one, I'm mirroring my stuff on YouTube. If you want to subscribe via means other than the YouTube subscription module, there's an RSS feed that you can use to keep track of updates there. That is also where I tend to put content that just doesn't fit in the description boxes, like the full text for the poem Voldeinsamkeit. That was on that site as well. One of the things that is going to be coming to that site this week is related to something else that I wanted to talk about. I'm going to be posting, I'm not sure with what regularity, but quite regular, going to be posting the text of poems which I have not recorded, which I have not performed. One of the reasons that I am doing that is that, as I said, I've been talking with a couple of people about reading some of my poems on videos of their own, and I want to make it available, to anyone who wants to do that kind of thing, the text of poems other than or in addition to the ones that I've already recorded. Now, I have yet to be told to go to hell by anyone that I've asked if they'd like to record one of my poems, and at this point do have a good number of folks that have said, yeah, I'm going to go. I'm going to do that. So stay tuned, and I will post a video and let people know when a number of those are up. Let's see. The other thing. This is kind of related to that, kind of related to everything. Kind of related to everything that's going on in my head. Most of the new sorts of content that I'm going to have coming down the pike gravitate around the idea that poetry is not contained. Poetry is not something that lives exclusively in the classroom or the infrequently visited section of the bookstore, or for that matter, the occasional late-night coffee house, but rather that poetry is something that we can that we can just build into our daily lives, into our daily perspective. That poetry can be a lens through which we view our lives and view the world around us. As such, it's something that it's something that is most useful to us when we don't view it as something contained. When we don't view it as something that is discrete and isolated, but rather is just in the world, in our lives, in our relationships. And one of the suggestions that I've gotten is that it would be neat if I did a series about a kind of a how-to. And while there are more perspectives and differing approaches to the writing of poetry than could be covered by one man in 100 lifetimes, I I do think I've got some interesting angles, and I hope to be able. I'm hoping to make that fun, something that people enjoy. It's ironic that I'd be looking at that kind of thing in with the advent of National Novel Writing Month, which I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of National Novel Writing Month, but that's neither here nor there. So that's going to be coming. Other stuff that, again, I still can't talk about yet, is going to be coming. And oh, thank you for the support. I would continue to talk about that, but it would mostly consist of significant size, and staring mistily off into the distance. So I'll leave you with that, and I'll see you tomorrow.